banking industry is not exactly thrilled about this.
The bank doesn't want competition because they've done a shitty job of serving their customers.
And the only asset that they hold is XRP. Randomly, out of probably 1,000 people I'll talk to, retail is like...
So leveraging RLUSD on the XRP blockchain that you've heard about.
The concept of Swell popped up in 2017, and it was the reaction to Swift wouldn't let us attend Sibos. And the broader XRP community, who we've hosted at other events, this is going to be one single beacon event. Will be hosted by Ripple next year.
That will 10x DeFi overnight.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all of them empty.
Greg Arlenhouse says the XRP community will be in NYC for Ripple Swell 2026. Drop a comment down below if you're gonna go to NYC for Ripple Swell. Got some gematria from Shockwave. Also, Chainlink founder says institutions will 10x crypto overnight. But first, we start off with a mic drop from Big Brad Garlandhouse. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. Good glitches. We got some more extra bullishness for you. And as always, nothing in this video is financial or investment advice. Please always do your own research. Subject views. Mic drop at Swell.
I guess it's not surprising then that the banking industry is not exactly thrilled about this.
The bank doesn't want competition because they've done a shitty job of serving their customers.
Monica Long, 13 years of the XRP Ledger. Big thank you to all the validator node operators, infrastructure providers, builders, apps, users, and every other person that is part of the XRP community. The XRP Ledger continues to tick on strong. 100 million ledgers closed. Over a decade of operation. Value settled in seconds. Crypto Insight UK using RLUSD and the XRP Ledger to create more efficient flows between banks and card networks.
This foursome right here just did an announcement that we're going to be looking at opportunities to leverage stablecoins for settlement purposes. So leveraging RLUSD on the XRP blockchain that you've heard about in ways that will enable more efficient and effective workflows between banks and card networks.
Meanwhile, Watcher Guru Justin Ripple partners with MasterCard to introduce RLUSD credit card settlements on the XRP Ledger. But Smoke Dog MasterCard is being upgraded to Ripple. Listen closely.
There are many use cases now, very successful investment use cases, and I won't go through these in detail other than to say very briefly that there are good reasons why a lot of value is being captured. So if you look at number one, as I already mentioned, we need infrastructure to allow for the digitalization of finance and commerce, and that's being created by companies with names like Anchorage and Fireblocks and Kraken and so on. And these are digital custodians or wallets or marketplaces, and we're investors in all of those, are ones that we show as examples here. In terms of monies and commodities and assets, the same thing is true. We're taking things like Swift or Visa or MasterCard, and we're upgrading them into digital equivalents, which have names like Ripple or Yellow Card. And we're digitalizing monies like the US dollar into things like Tether and Circle, and we're an investor in Tether and Circle as well. At the commodity level, we can take gold, and you can buy and sell gold physically or through derivatives like ETFs. But we're now tokenizing gold, so you can buy and sell gold over digital wallets and digital infrastructure with things like Pax Gold. So we can do it with traditional commodities. Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum are new to the world commodities, and we were early investors in them as well. And then you can do it with any other asset. So we can actually take any asset, like the example here, a money market fund from BlackRock. We can tokenize that and make that money market fund called BIDL be available in digital infrastructure anywhere in the world, 24/7. And that's why BlackRock's so excited by the tokenization of other real-world assets.
Ripple Brad Garlandhouse says on crypto becoming partisan as well. He argues that regulation should focus on outcomes, not on the technology itself, calling the politicization a cliff.
I'm intentionally trying not to be partisan, but crypto did become partisan, I think led by Senator Warren, led by Gary Gensler. And I tweeted out when that was happening that the Dems were going to let off a cliff, and I think that's what happened. And I think the reason why it still may get done this year is because I think there are a lot of leaders that are on the D side who realize the technologies should not be partisan. How technologies are used can be partisan and people can judge, but like, you know, it's almost like saying, you know, the Dems are pro-email and the Republicans are anti-email. Huh? It just doesn't make sense. Like, technology should be regulated at their outcomes.
Another one from Brad Garlandhouse, Ripple CEO, says. Another one from Big Brad. Another one from Brad reflects on how far the crypto industry has come at Swell 2025. Talks president 60 minutes. Another one from Brad Garlandhouse reflecting on how far the crypto industry has come at Swell 2025.
The president had talked about making America the crypto capital of the world on 60 Minutes. And I remember thinking to myself as I was doing this interview, like the fact that the president is on 60 Minutes talking about crypto, that alone, I would not have thought we would be here.
Ripple Swell officially wraps up. Brad Garlandhouse closed it out with some more extra bullish news.
So as I mentioned this morning, this is our 9th Swell. Some of you remember, there are a few people that were here for part of this, but the concept of Swell popped up in 2017, and it was the reaction to Swift wouldn't let us attend Sibos. Some people don't know, it's a true story. We couldn't get space, a booth at Sibos. And so we decided, this is in Toronto, and we decided, Sibos, the land of big banks, we were the disruptors, literally. So we went down the street, we hosted our own event, and admittedly, it was a little bit of a warehouse. It wasn't nearly what we have today, but it was anchored by speakers like Ben Bernanke. And I think very quickly, Swift regretted their decision because they created more of a monster by pushing us out. Well, 9 years later, the world looks profoundly different. Some of the biggest financial institutions in the world are here in this room with us. But it's not just them. We have the prime brokers, the application builders, the investment banks, the ETF issuers, as we just discussed, and everyone in between. Crypto and blockchain have moved from being taboo words to being part of the fabric of society. And let's be clear, you are all part of this movement. In fact, you all are this movement. So thank you. I am beyond grateful to have witnessed this fundamental shift in how the financial layer of the internet is changing and evolving. The work is nowhere near done, but if the conversations over the last 2 days have proven anything, it's that although we have come a very long way, we are all just getting started. I've said this before, but it is truly, and I say this somewhat humorously, an amazing time to be alive. We are witnessing the rewiring of financial infrastructure. We're witnessing enabling things that were simply not possible before. It truly is, I believe, the economic opportunity of a lifetime to enable and catalyze this rewiring. I'm extremely proud that Ripple has been leading from the front, both with lawsuits, but in a lot of other ways as well. So for over a decade, we've been leading with transparency, we've been leading with a compliance-first posture, and we've been leading with the goal of championing not just XRP, but the entire industry. I feel extremely lucky to have had the privilege of leading this company, and of course, an honor to be part of the larger XRP community.
Is XRP price will follow. Up.
I am, though, thrilled, and kind of back to one of the things I said earlier, having a fortress and a citadel. I mean, these are truly the leading financial players and architects of financial trading in the country. And so for them to come along with us as partners and allies, I think is a very big deal. And I'm thrilled. The corp dev team at Ripple has had a busy year.
What message does that send to Wall Street, to traditional finance, to crypto skeptics?
Get on board. We talked earlier today about the fact that there's still over 50% of the financial institutions in the United States have zero exposure to crypto. There's zero chance that that's going to be true a year from now. That number is going to continue to go down and down. And that is actually great news because that's tailwinds for the whole industry. Yes, I mean that's tailwinds for Coinbase, that's tailwinds for Circle, but that's also tailwinds for Ripple. So happy about that.
In 2017, retail quietly started stacking BTC before the big breakout. Now in 2025, history is repeating. Retail is only holding XRP. When the crowd wakes up, it's already too late.
And then there's like the retail that was around in 2021. I would say for the most part, the retail that was around in 2021 still isn't really doing much with crypto. I've probably talked, I don't even know how many people I've talked to in person. When I go walk around, people are like, oh, you're in crypto. They're mostly out of the market and the only asset that they hold is XRP. Randomly, out of probably 1,000 people I'll talk to, retail is like, that's the only thing they hold. And
don't get left behind. White House rep says the Trump administration wants to make America the dominant player in crypto. He also hinted the Gensler's era war on crypto is coming to an end.
As a former football player, I will say there's always room for improvement. So, maybe I'll give us a B+ or an A-, but I will say, this administration, it starts at the top. President Trump set the clear vision. He reiterated that the other night on 60 Minutes. We want to make the United States the dominant player in the crypto space, right? We've been the dominant player in... And so he sets the direction, and if he's the owner of the team, let's say, that my boss David Sachs is the general manager or the head coach, and I'm the quarterback on the field, trying to execute. We've done an incredible job of staffing this administration from Treasury, SEC, CFTC, our office, with folks who are pro-crypto, pro-innovation, and want to do everything that we can to, achieve that efficient frontier of regulation, right? The basic rules of the road that allow markets to flourish but not be overly burdensome, and really put an end to the Gensler war on crypto. I'd say the Gensler-Warren era on crypto. So, Gensler's gone, but we still have to deal with Senator... Still dealing with a number of folks that have that legacy mindset, but I would say the administration is pushing every day to move the ball forward and make sure that we're delivering wins, and again, allowing this industry to just, do what it does.
Shockwave, 5th of November, XRP, not financial advice. And so it begins. Gematria, and so it begins. XRP, XLM, XDC. Chainlink founder says institutions will 10x crypto overnight. That
will 10x DeFi overnight. So the thing that I think isn't fully clear to people yet, because it hasn't happened yet, but I'm a big believer in, is that DeFi, will continue to do permissionless innovation. It'll continue to invent new stuff, great stuff, like mind-blowing cool stuff, which I'm a big fan of, and we're all a big fan of. But then the capital into that stuff will come from these institutions because their clients have all the money. They do. It's all the world's money in these institutions held by the clients, and the institution services the clients, right? And so the clients are going to say like, oh wow, look, I can get 8% on the US dollar in DeFi. Let me make this percentage of my treasuries convert to DeFi. I mean, that's amazing. That's unbelievable. That will 10x DeFi overnight. If that happens.
With that being said, Batman Bag Ladies, XRP community will be in NYC for Ripple Swell 2026.
All right, so before I sign off and let everyone get snacks and drinks, one important public service announcement. I'm excited to share with you guys that our 10th Swell is going to be a little bit different. As you guys know, the Swell has tended to cater towards the institutional audience. We've had separate events like Apex that is catered to developers. But we are excited to expand Swell to include not just financial institutions and payment providers or asset managers, but bring in the developers, bring in the investors, bring in the researchers, bring in the academics, and the broader XRP community who we've hosted at other events. This is going to be one single beacon event. Will be hosted by Ripple next year, back here in New York City, and we look forward to welcoming you all there next fall.
Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in for another Moon O'Clock News update. Good glitches. As always, do your own research. Check the links in the description. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top bros and a likey. Smash them subscribies. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
I've got one that can see. Eating all these bags like a black hole, rounding up some more like a lasso. We was getting turned extra bullish at the last show. Spaceship getting heavy with the last load, knowing that the pump coming soon in this blast mode. R.I.P. peace to the chateaus. Fuzzers they was hitting cause of Clayton they was knocking, trying to get inside of the castle. Rockets loading up, about to blast off the gravel. Told you get your ticket but you missed out on the raffle. SEC a bunch of lies, what a bunch of assholes. But that rocket reignited like a gas stove. Ready to flip the switch, then we blast more in another orbit like an astro. All them times it was talking ish turned to a fiasco. Fortune to the beast, feel like Mozart playing the piano. Rob Nichols and Batman.